I'm pretty sure that you know Nicolas Vision, my French friend. This is part.
How many years ago was this?
It's a bit of pictures.
You had been.
How many years now?
I'm sorry.
You were said that.
It's even changed. Yeah, so he's managing a product that we call it's a product. It's not on the Visionaries. It's a new supposed with the whole inspection.
What do they use?
Có cái ý thấy chưa muốn lòng có cái chưa
Yeah.
Yeah, put like that and we joined the association, right? And it was with this product.
Wait, he doesn't like come on. So
Yeah. So he's managing this one. He's the only one that we have plans in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you were working on the technical,
Yeah.
vision for when I was in your office. So,
So maybe it was earlier then.
but then you were working on the watch solution.
Yeah, we work with a lot of, they
Oh,
are.
but at that time.
Maybe then that means that you saw the first, did you try it? Did you try the acquisition from the office? Or no, not yet?
I didn't because I think I kind of know the quality and no problem. I was talking to him and wait. He didn't, and then I was speaking on that.
Yeah, it's like the is mandate now. We're looking outside Hong Kong. So he's gonna go to Thailand. There's a big tech show in Thailand this week. Excellent. So yeah, I'm gonna meet him in Thailand next week. But yeah, I think we're still finding it difficult here. The property developers have so many challenges right now with the interest rates and everything. I think I mean, right now, a big market now growing. We have now 5 people, 5 employees hired in last year is in Japan. Japan is getting big and big. Tokyo is a big market for us. In South Korea, we have 2 clients. Yeah, we see.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Asia Smart Innovation Workshop. I'm Iris from WTIA, and on behalf of WTIA, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for your participation today. We are especially grateful for the ongoing support for our partner, CCDIA Hong Kong. Today's workshop is titled Designing the Perfect AR/VR Experience, How to Put Users First. This section focuses on creating immersive and user-centered AR and VR solutions that deliver impactful and meaningful experiences. Today's agenda features 2 expert presentations followed by an interactive panel discussion. Let me introduce our distinguished guest speakers, Mr. Ivy Shum, Director, Hong Kong Association for VR AR. Mr. David, co-founder, Visionary 777. Our panel discussion will be moderated by Mr. Luke Chu, Chairman of the Hong Kong Internet E-commerce Association. Before we begin, I invite everyone, both in-person and online participants, to engage with our opening poll. Please scan the QR code displayed on the slide to share your thoughts. Have you ever used AR or VR technology? Thank you for sharing your insights. Regardless of where you are in your journey with immersive technologies, we hope today's workshop will provide valuable inspiration and guidance. Now, let's capture this moment with a group photo. Mr. Ivy Shum and Mr. David and Mr. Luke, please join me at the front.
Group photo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your cooperation. Please take your seats and we begin today's program. Let's officially kick off our workshop. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our first speaker, Mr. Ivy Shum, Director, Hong Kong Association for AR and VR. Yeah.
I didn't know I'm the first one, but. So I would like to share a little bit like on the how impact on using the technology in Asia. So it's basically every year I'm like having the research more people to let me know about their technology and use. And then I share the insights like every year that we do that under the association. And most of the trend in extended reality, the XR, is basically mix of the AR, VR, MR, all the technologies that related with physical space and also digitally. And for example, like right now, we are physically here in this room, but people in the Zoom, but for our setup, basically we show them with us digitally. So they probably can be seated on the physical chair here if we are on the smart glasses, that we can see them through the devices, and how we can use the technology in the education, industrial sectors, healthcare, and mostly gaming. I will show you a little bit on the example on the gaming side because that's the big trend and easier to use the technology to make use of them. And for like right now it's more comparatively from previous years. It increases to focus on the developing on the hardware. It's lighter, it's more mobilized, no need to have the string or the cables connected, and the heat, the battery will be a little bit fit on the devices, and also how to integrate with the spatial computing on the cloud or another technologies that can help to make use of the application in the XR format. And lastly is basically right now is the heat is the AI and or the generative AI. How can we make use of those technologies to make different perspective or different versions? So that's an other trend that for us is exploring and how to make more application for the market. So here's a little bit insight about the figures. Is still growing, but mostly is in the APAC or the Asia area, or some is overseas. US and Europe is more enhanced or more solutions. But in China still growing. The technology and the contents and how to make to be smarter. I think the China solutions may be a little bit faster, and the figure is still telling us it's growing. So those are the key companies in China making enhance the devices or the solution, or how they use case in the retail or in the educations, they focus on those two and also the gaming. And some on the healthcare, I will have some examples afterwards. It's basically how to use the technology to help the patients or human, like more mentally side. So here's one of the example about the, let me move this a little bit. So if we have a bigger space, those marks are basically is a marker. If we use the device to enter the space, that's different contents will be shown through your device. So so that will be another trend that is more showing the cultural, the historical content, and people will use it for the museum, gallery, and also maybe go to different countries. So it's a kind of like we call it VR cultural tourism method or applications. So people will enter by ticketing. They just have a space, maybe not too big, even just this room should be enough, because if you are on the device, it's basically triple up or even more spacious that you can see on your device. And you can interact with people. If you see in the picture, they wear a little bit more hardware at the backpack. It's basically they can see each other if they are on the glasses. And my last time I share a little bit on the AR AI glasses developed by Stanford. Now more solutions they are developed on the devices is much lighter, and AI, because it's connected with the open source and all that, so it's more solutions and more varieties. So there's a couple vendors focusing on the sector, and they mostly use in education. And on the gaming side, the entertainment. So they will use more like competition and games with different people. Even maybe physically or virtually together. And this is one of the example that is on the gaming, VR gaming. Let's see if. So it's more like immersive in the gaming, and to be having more fun and more interact no matter where you are. And right now there's a lot of solutions on how to improving the contents, digital contents, and how to add the AR in order to have more varieties and to collaborate with different people. We are trying to do is like no boundary on the physical locations, time zone, and any devices can gather together. So there's a lot of collaboration and how we can use those technologies on the learning and the simulation training and all that. So those are a lot of people are doing different applications. And for the healthcare side, for the extended reality is more transforming the medical training and patient care. It's easier for the medical people, and facilitating the simulation training or rehab the process is easier for humans to adopt, and improving the treatment outcomes and effectiveness. So they can make use or using the technology or hardware to help things speed it up and encourage them to do more exercise and all that. So there's a lot of benefits and impact. It's easier to understand. It's like we can physically, it's here is physically nothing, but if we have devices, we can see the body on the digital table. So we can learn a lot more, or people from the hospital, they will do a simulation or assessment. So they can learn and also assess, they really learned it. The whole parts of the body and circulations and all that. So that's the better saying that it's faster and then less error. So they can learn a little bit more and the score assessment will be higher. And not just like Hong Kong have solutions, also Taiwan, Korea, and a lot more on the APAC area. I just mentioned that it's just about the healthcare section. So in Korea, they even within the school, within the medical school, they will make use of the technology, have the students to learn the technology and to compete. So they learn by building the applications. And for more simulations, more rehabilitation process, so they can use the technologies, more encourage the patient to do more exercise instead of they just traditionally they do physical training and assessments and all that, but they can see different environments, so they will feel that they are not really just doing the tests to do the test, but they during the time they are healing themselves as well. So this is one of the examples using is one of the scenario using the hardware to do a cycling, so they can even charting and all that. The simulation environment is including the weather and different conditions, so they can be different than physical work. So the hardware, the virtual reality is more helping the people to do a better treatment. So this is more couple example. This is from Korea and one is in Hong Kong. They how to use the virtual reality to talk with the people who pass away. So this is the case is a while back. Is the daughter passed away because of illness and couldn't have a time to say goodbye to her mom. So her mother is kind of like in how to overcome the whole situation. So the team, along with the NGO, building the solution for helping the mother to overcome that her daughter passed away, that she is doing well, that she passed. So help the mother to overcome the whole situation mentally. So this is one of the example in Korea and in Hong Kong also similarly. So this solution was provided by HTC. They working with the NGO for the brother, a younger brother passed away because of illness, and the big brother didn't know until he asked his parents, and the NGO helped the big brother to overcome. So the whole family accepted this technology as a treatment and help the big brother to overcome that his brother really passed away. And also, they make use of the AI on the audio. It's one of the companies, actually it's my friend's company. What they do is to collect all the voice from the younger brother when he is still here, and then make use of AI and to recreate the conversation voice. So besides the vision, is with a digital children, and also the audio, that his voice is also using the AI to do the communication with the big brother. So hopefully this is a little bit insights, and hopefully we can enhance the technology for better future together. And this is me, and hopefully we all can learn a little bit more on how to make use of the technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy, for that comprehensive and enlightening presentation. Your insights into the principle of user-first design in AR and VR are truly valuable. I'm confident everyone now has a deeper appreciation for the critical importance of putting users first in today's rapidly evolving AR and VR landscape. Now, let's welcome our second speaker, Mr. David, co-founder, Visionaries 777.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay, everyone, bear with me 1 second. Are we sharing this? Okay, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Where's the interface? But it's fine. We'll manage. So yes, I'm David. My name is my company is Visionaries 777. We have two friends, the three of us, who started the business 13 years ago in Hong Kong, actually, which is a long time ago. But I want to take you back to the year 2006. The iPhone didn't exist in 2006. The iPhone was launched in 2007, but my business partners, Nicolas Guillon and Franz Dasson, were creating the first spatial computing and mixed reality hardware prototypes at university. So it is very difficult to find people in 2006 who were already working in mixed reality and augmented reality spatial computing. They were real pioneers with a handful of people worldwide were looking into mixed reality in 2006. They were hired by LEGO Innovation Labs in Denmark to work in all the experience prototypes for children to play between the physical and digital world. And so when I met them, they were inside LEGO. And they basically left LEGO, and 13 years ago we created our company, and our first client was LEGO. And with LEGO, we worked a lot on understanding what is the future of interaction. Back in the day, you have to understand there was no AR with iPhones. It was still very early on. So we had to work on lots of prototypes with QR codes. The first thing that we started working on was marketing. So this is an example of what, as soon as the first iPhones came out with AR, we had a campaign where people could draw a physical Christmas cards. And when they scanned it with their phones, that teddy bear would come to life in augmented reality. So augmented reality back then was really primarily used for these kind of marketing campaigns. So we did this campaign with McDonald's globally. We had like 13 countries where people would scan with the first iPads, billboards in Hong Kong, in Australia, in different countries, and you play AR games. We soon realized that working in marketing campaigns or gaming 13 years ago was just not feasible. We had to really move on to looking at maintenance tools, training tools, facility management tools, or tools that could allow people to use XR on a daily basis on their job, not just marketing and gaming. So this is why we basically decided strategically to find clients back in the day who could afford this software, and it was only automotive to begin with. So if we wanted to work with automotive, we had to go to BMW in Munich, we had to go to Nissan in Japan. Nowadays, we have more than 57 people working globally, and our market is between Europe, Japan, and the US. Now, when you see the logos here, we do work directly with Rolex in Geneva. We do work with Honda in Japan. We do work with these companies in the US. We work with Meta, Snapchat for the R&D, for example, of the glasses. So what do? We believe that for XR to have an impact, we can look at any organization. It doesn't matter if you're manufacturing jewelry, you're making toilets, if you have a building, if you have a factory, if you have a hospital. We need to understand what are the different applications on the designing of the property, the maintenance, or the manufacturing of the property. How do you, or a product? I think this thing is very, by the way. Or different applications within different departments. So the issue is that if I go to a brand like BMW and I say I do XR, and I want you to have an XR game in virtual reality or in augmented reality, it is very difficult because many agencies do XR. These are open. You can use software like Unity and Unreal Engine to do this kind of gamified experiences. But when we talk about interfaces, that's where you can differentiate yourself. There are many tools out there, but one of the things is into understanding who is your user base, and the other one is understanding how can you deploy this at mass scale. So the first thing that I would think, because I know the talk is about interfaces, I do want to focus also on the 3D elements. Very few people talk about the 3D elements. And the 3D element is very important because if an experience is not good in terms of visual quality in 3D, then I don't think I need this, by the way. I speak very loud. It's fine. Yeah. So yeah, I think that if we have a system where we can create very high quality 3D models, this combined with a great interface makes a full rounded experience for the user. We are limited nowadays by the display in front of our eyes, by the quality of this display. The highest quality display right now in mixed reality and virtual reality is the Apple Vision Pro. This is manufactured by Sony at this stage. It is highly expensive, but the quality is very high. Now, of course, to make the most out of that 3D display, you need to have very good 3D models or volumetric capture. And that's why we created a pipeline. So what we did was we told our clients, again, take a client in the automotive industry. Our clients have 200 people doing 3D models, but they're not specialized in real-time 3D models. So what we do is we tell the clients, whatever you need to do, we'll create highly specialized 3D models, whatever is that your application is. These may be virtual reality, augmented reality, web AR, it doesn't matter. It could be WebGL, it could be Unreal Engine. We just highly optimize a 3D that can be deployed. And that way, you don't need to change the topography or the quality of the 3D depending on the hardware that you're going to be displaying it on. So this is an example of the quality of the 3D that we can develop right now. This watch is nearly, I don't know, like $4 million of IWC. What we did here was we created a 3D model based on the CAD data. So we have to work with the manufacturer in Switzerland to give us the manufacturing files. And with this, we can create 100% accurate 3D models, but this is only 9 megabytes in size, just to give you an idea. So even though it's very lightweight, the 3D, meaning that it can run on any platform, it is visually very accurate to the physical item. Oops. Okay. So once you have that beautiful 3D, what you can do is you can make, first of all, 3D configurators. We're not even talking about AR or XR at this stage. First of all, we have to move away from 2D to a 3D world, right? So right now, when you guys go and buy, or ladies, you buy something on Amazon or you buy something on Apple is different actually. Most products only have a picture right now. In the future, you need to have everything to be in 3D. Otherwise, we cannot enjoy XR, whether it's VR, AR, or mixed reality. So that's one of the things that we specialize with many of these companies. We first of all help them create a pipeline that has full 3D capabilities for any application. Without this, you're just going to be spending money on marketing campaigns for Christmas, for Easter, for whatever. So once you have that 3D pipeline, so if you go now to the websites of all these brands, Cartier, Vacheron Constantin, IWC, Panerai, in the luxury world, these are all of our clients. You can now experience a product in 3D, but then you can, from the web, also do a virtual trial. So we're already going to augmented reality. That is one application. We are now targeting the e-commerce side. So of course, that is what the public sees, but I'm going to show you what has a lot more applications than that. In XR, as I said, if you look at what we do and you look at our website, you only see 20% of what we actually do. 80% is really focused a lot more on in-house training tools, maintenance tools, co-working tools that people don't really hear about. And I hope that I can share a few of those with you. I really want to see if I can change the interface. 1 second, because this thing is very weird. What's going on? Share screen. Can I move this? Yeah, I can, right? I can just, is it here? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Cool. Beautiful interfaces, by the way, by Zoom. It's a great example. Okay. So, now let's talk. How do we make now jobs more interesting for people? If whether you're cleaning a toilet and you have to clean this toilet every day, this has to be the most boring job in the history of humanity, or whether you're making CAD data as an architect, or whether you're making a baker, in 10 years, all of these will have XR. I truly believe we're going to get to that point. And by the way, as I said, we started this 13 years ago with the company, so I've been waiting a long time for this. But I do think we have now a benchmark. Apple launched the first Vision Pro, and this is bulky, it's heavy, the battery doesn't last, many challenges, but it's like the first iPhone. The first iPhone didn't sell very well because we didn't have Spotify, Uber, Google Maps. All of the iPhones started selling afterwards because the apps were built into the iPhone. So we need to understand that the Apple Vision Pro is just the day one of the XR reality hardware. They've set the standards in terms of quality. Now we're going to see everyone, Samsung, Snapchat, Google. Eventually, everyone's going to launch Huawei, Alibaba's they're going to launch their own glasses. And so, again, for us, because we've been doing this for so long, our focus is how do we make jobs more fun in the future? Especially boring jobs. Because the thing is, for me, a large project with a client would be a facility management company that has 500,000 people cleaning buildings, managing buildings, and securing buildings. 500,000 people globally using XR every day. We've done projects that have, 500 shops of an automotive company globally with virtual reality, but 500 is nothing. It's very limited because who's going to buy a VR hardware? So I'm looking at the hundreds of thousands of people. So I do believe that the secret is focusing on very boring, repetitive jobs, right? That AI, by the way, and robotics cannot take over because it's very expensive to replace someone doing this kind of jobs with AI or robotics. So there's good news for many people. So, of course, why are the jobs boring? Because they are repetitive, because regardless of the industry, whether you're making watches, you're making cars, you're cleaning a building, it's the same toilet. You have to clean toilets. It's the same. Whether if you clean toilets, basically you have to go to another industry, the same job. The training methods are always the same. It's in person or with documents, and no new skills are acquired. So you don't elevate people. So we believe this is a huge problem. Now, XR could be the solution. We see that before XR, it's all about making standard training tools, making standard workaround tools with videos and PowerPoints that are just not going to cut it for the new generations. With XR, there's a big future, but of course, we're limited by the hardware. So right now we're focusing on the infrastructure for the clients. So this is a client that during COVID times, an example of a client that during COVID times could not send their engineers to the factories in different countries. So what we developed was a system where they're wearing smart glasses. We connect to the IoT system of the machinery. Through the glasses, we can show you how to do preventive maintenance of these machines step by step. But we're only focusing on the area where there's going to be a failure. Imagine the power of this. This means that with this hardware and this software, here, where, by the way, we're using HoloLens from Microsoft, HoloLens 2, anyone can become an expert in repairing an engine or a complex machine in a hospital. Anyone, regardless of skill level. This is another client. We have reduced training costs by 73% by allowing the employees to be trained in mixed reality. When you join this company, you need to learn how to assemble this vehicle. Traditionally, you would need someone next to you telling you how to do it, but sometimes they don't speak the same language. So it's very costly to hire a translator. In this case, the employee wears the smart glasses, and we can teach anyone how to assemble a vehicle step by step, regardless of skill level. All you need to do is your hands and be able to listen to instructions. So this is quite extraordinary. With a few modifications to the software, we can really make sure that, and by the way, we're talking about interfaces and modifications on the software side for interface and audio guidance, for example, we can make an engineer out of anyone. I'm exaggerating, but I hope you get the point. Now, when we're talking about interfaces, so this is a project we developed for Infinity, the Nissan brand. This is used by dealerships on a global level. Now, why can these be deployed at a global level in terms of interface? Because it doesn't matter if you're in Japan, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Germany, everyone knows how to use a smartphone right now. And the smartphones have the same interface. The home button is the same, swipe left to right is the same icon, typing is the same keyboard kind of thing. So we are coming to a point where you need less regionalization of interfaces, because globally, everyone uses the same Uber app or the same WhatsApp app. Of course, I want to emphasize, there are things for sure we need to change in some cultures and depending on the demographic or the age of the person. But in general, as everyone, if you go to any country, everyone has the same smartphone, we are becoming much more accustomed to working in the same way globally, okay? Oh, by the way, yeah, I didn't explain the project. So here what we did was we get the CAD data. The salespersons, before the car arrives to the showroom, they get delivered a small car model. They can scan it with the iPad. We track the CAD data and we overlay to scale the 3D models on top. So the salesperson can explain to the person who's going to buy the vehicle why this chassis is going to save their life, why is it, we're doing like an X-ray view through the car with the AR. Now, this is a beautiful example from my point of view of something that took a long time to develop, but it's being used, listen to this, by 7,000 people on a daily basis. Now, this is for an insurance company that is working in Portugal and Brazil. So the way the system works is, whoops, we don't know what went wrong. The way the system works is, if you have a car accident, you don't need to call the car insurance company to come and evaluate the damage of the vehicle. And I don't know what's going on with this, so let's just see if we play it from here. Sorry, everyone. Let's just play it from here. Should be fine. Yeah, cool. So yeah, so basically what we did was, if you have a car accident, all you need to do is you get out of your car. We have a very intuitive interface that tells you, okay, David, please align the back tire of your vehicle. We know what vehicle you have because you signed up for the insurance of the company, so we know the size of the chassis. You line up the back tire. Then the system tells you, okay, David, walk here. So I need to walk here, and then it tells you in Portuguese, please align these two dots. Okay, I align my two dots. Now we're gonna create an AR filter around your vehicle. Now all you need to do is make sure this dot is following the center of this thing. It's like a racing game. Within 7 minutes, we have the client scan the whole vehicle from the exterior. We scanned the big number in the interior. Within around 15-minute period, we have had already created an estimate based on machine learning on how big is the damage of the vehicle. We have a lot of comparison pictures and videos of accidents, so we don't need to send anyone. With a 97% accuracy, we can tell you how bad is the damage of your vehicle and which is the closest repair shop that you can go to, depending on the damage that you have inside your vehicle. And again, we have thousands of people using this on a daily basis in augmented reality, just from the smartphones. We don't need any fancy hardware. We don't need any fancy, expensive glasses. It's just a smartphone that anyone can have in their pockets with AR. I think iPhone is like from the iPhone 6S, you can do this. And Android, all the brands with AR core. Cool. So this is we work a lot on prototyping. So this is a prototype that was built by our team with the idea that imagine you want to learn how to fly a drone, okay? So it's quite complex, the physics. But with this, what we did, we just wanted to, because you don't have a drone accessible at the time, we said, okay, what if the user could just grab any item like an apple or something with a stick, and they could move it around, and that's how they're controlling the joystick. So it could be anything with a stick, a hair or anything. It's just a prototype. But the idea with these systems is that we want to make it easy for anyone to understand how to learn and acquire new skills. And it doesn't have to be fancy 3D. Here is just an apple and a little, virtual joystick to learn how to understand the physics of how a drone is flying. This is a project that we're working on with a supermarket chain. So the idea with this project is we've created a digital twin of the whole supermarket. What's going to happen in the future is that you will go shopping to Welcome, and you're going to get your phone out, and you'll be like, okay, I need to buy eggs, milk, and whatnot, and it's going to be a gamified experience. The supermarket is going to ask you, David, would you like to play a mini game? If you play this mini game, you're going to get a 10% discount in your shopping today. All I need to do is walk around. Oh, by the way, have you seen the Coca-Cola discount? Yeah, very cool. Great. Have you seen the butter discount? You could gamify the experience and have people buy things that they didn't even think about. We have to bring the inner child of those people into the real world. And this is all by gamifying experiences. Now, the interface here is a bit more complex. But just to remind you, the Pokemon Go game, when it came out, was played by 5-year-old children and 90-year-old grandmothers. That proved that all of us, regardless of demographic, social state, social economic status, and culture, we all know how to use AR intuitively. Yeah, I don't know what the interface failed. So this is a bit more advanced, of course, but it's a very cool case study. The idea here is that in the future, this person, to sell this watch, you need to tell a story. I'm going to sell a premium product, I need to tell you, why are you paying X amount of money for this beautiful watch, for this beautiful jewelry? But these young people, they don't want to learn on PDFs and PowerPoints. So what we do now is we tell them, wear your headsets, we're going to give you a tour of the shop, and they can then interact at their own pace and learn about the USP of the product in that environment. This is a project that we did in partnership with a lady called Diana Libara. She's an amazing woman working in the ISF Academy in Hong Kong. She's a Stanford graduate. She was looking at the idea of how can we change the behavior of children through gamification. The project started with a friend of mine, his name is Trevor Ho, where he is monitoring the whole energy consumption of the building with the smart breakers. All we do is we help them visualize. By the way, this project is a bit old already, 7 or 8 years old, but it's very cool. What we did was, when the children are in the classroom, they get their phone out, or actually they don't have the phone, they have an iPad on the wall, and they can see in augmented reality how much is the lighting consuming in kilowatt hour. How much is the air? As soon as they point to the TV or any item, they can see the consumption. What we did was we made a gamified experience showing the children. If you switch on the lights, you're going to save energy, you will get some points. By doing this, by having the children getting points and a reward at the end, the reward is you're going to go to Hong Kong Disneyland. I can tell you, all the children were switching all the lights off, all the air conditioning off, and opening the windows to save energy, because there's a rewards part to it. So I think that to make a product successful, you need to understand who is your user, design, of course, the user interface accordingly, but more importantly, what is the reward? What am I getting out of this? It can't just be a beautiful interface. It can't just be a beautiful 3D. I need to get something. Do I get information? Am I going to get points to accumulate for something? Am I going to learn a new skill? Otherwise, everything is just a marketing gimmick that won't last very long. There are now the B2B side clients which are fascinating. Aristocrats is one of the largest manufacturers of casino cabinets in the world. We're working with a team in Las Vegas. But these machines are everywhere. They're in Macau, they're in the US, and Europe, everywhere. With our XR tools, with this company, they are really utilizing XR for everything, from the designing prototype of the front of the physical product on the factory floor to the maintenance. There's a whole wide range. This is probably the most advanced company using XR at this stage. We don't see much of it. All we see is this part, the marketing side and how they promote it with the clients. But it's fascinating how the clients are becoming more aware to the fact that XR, it is a tool where you can save costs, when you can retrain your employees, you can even motivate people, you can cut short the periods of product development or sales cycles. It is becoming a very powerful tool. And again, we don't need to wait for the smart glasses to come out. This is a project that we are now in the testing phase. The idea is that we were talking about this, the BMW museum. The idea is that eventually you're going to have the full digital twin of the BMW World Museum, and then you can just walk around and give yourself an AR tour with an AR avatar. Okay, so this is not AR or XR, but it does show the power of having a complete pipeline for the clients. So when we talk to the clients, we always tell them on the B2B side, when you invest in something, we always believe you have to think of a tool, because otherwise, you know, if imagine that it's Christmas and you want to make a beautiful marketing campaign. If you invest too much in this and you cannot reuse it, it becomes a waste. And that's why there's no ROI. And that's why the clients are saying, I cannot invest in you, in XR especially, right? It's not like printed media. This is very obvious, the ROI, right? Do we increase sales in the short term? So one of the things that we're working on now is, can we reuse the 3D models that we use for XR for AI training? Now, this is CAD-based data, so CAD-based 3D models. And this is an offline AI tool that we're building. So we are not able to use OpenAI SDKs. So we're not able to use any kind of things. Oh, my battery is going to die. Yeah. Good that you realized. Thank you. Yeah. The story of my life. Battery is going to die. So the way it works here is, because our clients have such confidential data, again, we cannot use public AI tools. So we built our own AI system in a PC that is very powerful. We take the CAD data, we import it into this PC offline. There is nothing connected to the internet. This physical PC has a virtual set of cameras that during 2 days, it teaches itself how does this watch, which is 100% accurate, because we have all the reflections and all the details, how does it look like in different environments? And this is where the beauty comes in. After 2 days of training, it's really something funny. Here we go. Oh, these are the training images that are produced by our AI system. This is 100% accurate in terms of the product. Gen AI is very good at creating environments, creating text, creating content. Is creative. It's not based on CAD. We're using, that principle, but we're really focusing on the CAD data. So you can see the images here generated for this. Now, for some of you in the crowds, I've got a question. Which one do you think is the real picture? Which one is the AI picture? So who thinks this is the real one? Raise your hands. Real one and AI. Which one is AI and which one is real? So whoever thinks this is real, raise your hands. Any real ones? Okay. And who thinks this is real? Okay, they're both AI. So yeah. So right now we're able to create hyper-realistic photographs from 3D models that are used for XR, because the XR industry requires such high quality 3D models, but they have to be very low poly, so there's many requirements. And it's an amazing coincidence that we can use this for AI tools. So, I mean, imagine how beautiful this is. You can create now content, and in the future, you can then the way we see it is, this is just the beginning. The idea is that you can create XR content where you can immerse yourself in the environments, looking at the product. So if I want to buy the latest watch with the Formula One race, I could then scan my hand and I could see the environment, everything in Gen AI, but the product has to be 100% accurate. So everything that I showed you right just before was customized. And now the last part of the presentation is what we have been promoting lately to many of our clients, is saying we need to move on to no-code AR or XR software. Where what I showed you before is very beautiful, but it's very time-consuming. It can be very expensive for clients. So this is why, luckily, we have one beautiful client in Hong Kong is Kaixin Properties. So Kaixin Properties belongs to the Sun Group. We developed a system where they are able to scan themselves, create a digital twin of their facilities with a scanner. When they create a scan of the facility, so like ICC building, they then have a 3D editor where they themselves can create virtual checklists that will then appear in augmented reality and mixed reality. So once you create your checklists for training or maintenance or security or whatever it is that you want your employees to do, all they need to do is wear it's so funny that it's playing weird. All you need to do is wear a smart headset, and this system will guide you through the whole building without any sensors. We are able to teach someone how to navigate a 120-story building without installing a single sensor or camera inside the building. The biggest digital twin scan that we have seen so far is the ICC building. The ICC building has been scanned. The 120 floors were scanned by the Kaixin group. It was very quick for them to scan the whole thing with one of these LiDAR scanners. This is our 3D editor in action. So yeah, you have every detail, and you're really scanning the surfaces of the actual environment, because you know CAD data and BIM models sometimes take too long. These really take just 3 days to scan. And so currently we have more than 120 people executing training routines for security, maintenance, and cleaning protocols with mixed reality. And then, of course, on a daily basis, they're not going to be wearing smart glasses. They're using smartphones. So this is what you would see on a daily basis. The employee will be guided to the place where they need to be. They check in, and the information displays the checklist on the interface. We don't use augmented reality for that because it would be too uncomfortable. This has been a long time dream come true for me, and this is the most exciting thing. This is the most exciting thing I'm going to show you right now. This is a convenience store. We have a chain of convenience stores, more than 200 convenience stores of one owner, where every person on a daily basis is using augmented reality to execute every task. Every time a Coca-Cola is missing in the fridge, the system creates an alarm and guides on the please check in, put the Coca-Cola in the fridge. Every time they have to clean the coffee machine or the clean filter or clean the fridge or the toilet, everything is done and guided through augmented reality. We have been able to reduce the training costs by 78%. We have been able to increase employee motivation by more than 60%, because the way that it works is the more efficient that you are following your checklist and executing all your tasks, then you're going to get a bonus at the end, a financial bonus at the end of the month. And of course, for the client, we are now creating tools where they're able to analyze data. Like, for example, we can understand where the employees are spending most of the time repairing or cleaning stuff inside the convenience store, so we can create heat maps, and all of this can be visualized, because the colleagues, they can be in the US, can be in Mexico, they can be in Europe. All of them can get together and have this mixed reality to visualize the data. So the last thing that we're working on, this is the last thing I'm going to show you is, and again, the reason why it's so beautiful is because we are now talking about augmented reality in the lowest of low skill jobs, right? Like people putting a Coca-Cola in the fridge, people cleaning a toilet. So no one could have imagined this would happen. But again, it's because everyone has access to a smartphone. Now with Kaixin, we're working on a system that is going to be making people smarter through AI. The idea is that in the future, you will just put a headset. So if I am the person doing facility management in this building, I put the smart glasses on, and the system will guide me and tell me what to do, depending on the urgency of the building, not a dumb checklist. I have to clean, repair a lift today, or check the air fire extinguisher. It really depends on what needs to be done in the building in different languages. That's the story, guys. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Okay, do I log out of this?
Change the background.
Should we disconnect from my Zoom? Okay, cool.
To create a gamified experience, mini game. Is that costly? The first question. And also, is that really related to sales performance? The customer, your customer will do extra investment for this mini game or create a fee. Is it related direct to, of course, directly related to customer experience, right? UX, but is it directly related to sales revenue? Sales side? Is it actually more as I mentioned?
So, in the specific case of the supermarkets, they already have our system for cleaning, security, maintenance routines.
I see.
So they already use this in-house tool. So that's number one. The system already deployed. That cost is covered. The
It's not that extra, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the real value there, in terms of, for them, is more about saving costs at the beginning. So saving training. How can you reduce costs on training side and reduce costs on the mistakes that people may make? Now, on the experience that we showed you, it is at this stage still experimental. And the reason why they try to test these solutions is because if you have 3 supermarkets that someone has access to, what is the differentiator? I always buy Coca-Cola in the same super, it's always Coca-Cola, it's always the same brand, it's always right. The products are very similar in general. And so what you need to focus in is on the client experience. And normally client experience, people really love things that are free or discounted. So if I can bring someone, I can tell them, look, you're gonna get one of these free stoves. If you play 10 times by AR game, you will get people playing the AR game. It's more about then developing brand loyalty. The revenue hopefully does increase. And again, these industries are so competitive that it's very hard to know where the revenue is coming from. But brand loyalty is a hard thing for these brands that are not. You always look for the cheapest brand, the cheapest build sometimes. People are not, you don't know the luxury, right, of spending money and limited money in cheese. But if you can save some money and you have an added experience where it's more fun, right, then you choose a supermarket. So yeah, that's more of the idea.
Yeah, sure. Okay, come back to Ivy. From some experience from AR, VR, maybe for a corporate application they absorb a little bit learning course as a CapEx investment or some course. But for SMT, is very popular. Now, is that AR, VR is suggested in the next coming up years, or is it difficult for SMT to improve this area by using AR?
They are improving by using the tools already available as a platform. So there's a bigger companies they develop tools for the tools for people to use. The SME maybe make use of the tools for rather than handmade for themselves, or if they have development inside the company in-house, they can customize the tablet tools in a way, but still have a value for them to make use or to use those tools for offering giving out as a service, so they can earn by providing.
I'm back with the question. Application for I so many cases from David case from overseas and client and different region. Is that different or any approach to domestic adaptation for I know you're quite instead of domestic market, but in case there's domestic localized experience or preferences, is there an approach or even
and I think, as Ivy said, at this stage, most clients will use existing tools. But the beauty of the technology world is that you use the science part volume, one more than I can see.
Yes.
You use volume. There are already companies doing AR because you will find in every country local companies that are adapting technologies for the local markets. That you will see everywhere. So because that's what a startup does, right? Startup in Hong Kong right now, if you're looking at what we are doing with BMW, it's going to say, can I adapt this to the local restaurants in Hong Kong? So that's going to happen. For sure, it's very interesting. Now, you're right. The cost has decreased. And I was right. The problem is the entry cost barrier, right? It's too expensive. As a business, I won't do it. But if as a startup, I can sell it to 50 different clients, I can get a VC money and I can verify it's technology. That's what I think is going to happen, and you will see more and more because the tools to develop XR are becoming easier to use. So you will have a lot more people with AI right now to develop XR games much faster, combining it with real sense technologies. And that means that we will see a lot more deployments. And as soon as like the hardware companies that you were mentioning in China start deploying serious XR hardware, we will see a lot of applications being developed for XR in a localized version for sure.
As mentioned about this fundraising, just I know, before 1 day before, Ivy is one of the organizers of TEDxHongKong. You are challenging. A long time ago, even you have past experience, right? Is that AR HR is kind of better tool or medium for storytelling for those audience or for those? Thank you.
Well, TEDxHongKong, I don't know if we don't really have the speakers to present on what it is about that, but on the conceptually that speakers spoke before, and other speakers from different channels overseas, for example, they present the platform as really early beginning, so we can visualize how the new. At that time, the new hardware, how to use it. And then a couple of years ago, when there's metaverse time, people will be having the events in the metaverse. Right? So different companies, different countries, they choose to participate and to listen to the same content. Like traditionally, we need to go to that place, take the whole queue line up to have a seat. So in the digital world, we just click and immersively enter. So not really just the TEDx, also different conference. Like Southwest and other bigger companies, bigger events, still have another comments.
Before pass the question for I saw so many cases from for the automotive. So is there any lightweight solution or for those creatures or any other environments in the workforce?
The solution that Caixin is using is much lower cost. There's no fancy 3D, there's no, it's very.
But compared with quality, you said.
No, quality is the same, but it's just it's a tool that the client can use themselves. They don't need us anymore. So these are tools. It's an app that you can download. You just pay the license and you can do everything yourself. You can create your scan yourself, you can create your training things yourself. You don't need us in any way. The other use cases, we are heavily involved with the clients to the point where we have sometimes staff for hours inside the headquarters of the companies, extracting data that we need, extracting information. It's a very, but this is really, I would say, reserved for clients that have, 120 billion euro revenue, and for them what we do is very small, but it solves many problems. But that's why I gave the example of the convenience store. To give you an idea, the convenience stores right now are in Mexico, that's in America. The average employee in a convenience store in Mexico is around, the salary is around $2,400 per month. That's a monthly salary. Sometimes they're even finish school. So how is it that the clients really that our software could help them train their employees and manage their employees? Number one is the pricing. We price this, in a convenience store, our price is around $1,000 for one convenience store, and limited number of users and limited number of chains per month. $1,000 is so cheap, doesn't even affect the bottom line. But it produces instant savings for the client. So yes, I think you're right. The question is, we do have very crazy tailoring solutions. We search for very clients, but the future is those solutions that can be deployed by the client themselves, but they don't need us. At this stage, most XR technologies, I would say pretty much all of them, require an expert to set up a device to set up something. There's always involvement of an engineer. Because we have been here long enough, we developed a system where we invest heavily on how to make it very easy for anyone, even someone who's getting a toilet, to use XR. And what in the end, the takeaway from the presentation, hopefully from my point of view, is everyone is waiting for the glasses, but the reality is that we all have a very powerful computer. And that's already a very good start. You don't need to wait for the glasses. Glasses will still take a long time before you can walk around safely, the battery problems, heat dissipation, field of view, you name it. But smartphones right now are so powerful.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the answers. Let's see other question on the floor, okay? Okay, after using longer time maybe for the VR device features, is it still have an obstacle that the audience don't feel, discomfort you mentioned? Yeah.
For the VR, that maybe still have this kind of problem. But people are more using on the virtual reality, so you can see on the physical space.
It's better.
Yes, so it will be easier, like you can use it on.
Is it facing out and then for VR? Not sure.
I mean, from my point of view, the mobility application for VR is just more niche, but it's a very good application. I mean, if you look at the Apple Vision Pro combines VR and XR, both, and it's like the movie kind of Ready Player One that was purely VR. That shows that vision is amazing. But I think it will be a mixture between I can go to work, use Google Maps and glasses in the real world, but if I want to be in the virtual world, I can. I think that's going to be the future. For sure, there will always be a VR case study. At this stage, it's still very niche, but in the future, will be both useful and on a daily basis.
As they mentioned about Apple Vision Pro, it's still very expensive.
Yeah.
It's not quite expensive.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's what I was talking about. The first iPhone when it came out was very expensive. Now everyone has the iPhone. It's cheaper. That's the thing. It's a matter of technology.
So we wait for time.
We have to wait. We have to wait. We've been waiting for a long time in Ivy. Trust me. Everyone now knows about Apple, but it's going to happen. I mean, as we know, it is special to be using the future of interaction in the internet. And that's why Ivy had that's just a change manufacturers. There are companies worldwide doing XR. We will see a huge drive. Every company making a laptop right now is working on XR hardware. That is a future guarantee. When you don't know what is going to happen.
How long it is?
or a consumer item like Ivy's glasses, your glasses that anyone can buy at the price of an iPhone, I don't think less than 10 years.
10 years
or 8 years, right? I mean, because every time before I was always saying next year, now I give up. 10 years. I'd rather reduce expectations.
Okay. The third one is which I mentioned before, related to ROI for investing our AR VR. Especially they ask for about education, which industry guesses initial or immediate ROI is better than high XR. Entertainment, I'm not sure.
In my case, I don't know if you experienced that. In my case, the biggest ROI right now is any industry where you can reduce training costs.
I see.
Training is a very expensive endeavor for any industry. Yes, correct. This is very expensive.
I see.
It's still a challenge because you training always requires only another person. So you have this has 2 people ready to spend. So this is for sure the first ROI. But I don't think it's just a one thing like training. You have to do the holistic point of view. Maybe in your organization, regardless of let's say it's a hospital, your one problem you have is that the surgery beds are taking too long to prepare because the nurses are too busy. And this is all with XR, I don't know. And that's why you have to test. Many of these technologies, because there are so many you need to test, and the clients should be testing it. Because there is not an answer yet, wherever. But if you don't test, you will find out. That's basically what I think.
Should be the last one, right? Oh, university student. Oh, yeah. Go for internship. Anyhow, what you show? Yeah.
We need interest sensor software. Yeah, I mean, you know, you mentioned South by Southwest. Right. Exactly. Now there's AWE. You have in Asia also. You have the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Talking about hardware. CES. I think if you are looking for internships, I don't know in Hong Kong, but in Hong Kong they're gonna have like one of these rides or one of these tech events. I don't think you need to go to an XR company. I do think that even if you join, let's say Jargons in Hong Kong, they will definitely have someone working in XR inside Jargons. Then you want to ship with Jargons to the XR. So yeah, I don't know specifically in Hong Kong, but I do think that any big company right now is looking to XR. It is unavoidable. It is future, it's like AI. AI, unfortunately, became more important than XR. So our father, because now everyone's talking about AI.
Compare it.
Like anyone can use it, but my mom uses AI. So everyone uses AI. Yes, it's so beautiful. So because XR still relies on hardware, so the software is not a problem. It's hardware right now. We cannot change the hardware of the factors.
Contact WTIA.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Let's talk on.
Yeah, sure.
We go through the tour together.
yeah, the intern, feel free to message me. The intern, you can get the contact from the colleagues. Feel free to give me.
Any further questions? No more? Okay, go here. Any question from the floor? Yeah, sure.
I feel the same. I have to invest a lot of money in training staff. And one aspect is those are all internal information. They don't want to share, even not to vendor. So you need to be with the executive and go in to know the offers. I don't. You see in the competition world, you may talk to another vendor or another customer, you tell them the secret for the business. So in this aspect, how they meet your customer and work with you? Are they dedicated people to learn the tools or how
in our case, it's a combination of both. We have clients that have extremely confidential data in their facilities. So what we do is we deploy an on-premise system that is not connected. You can use AR on-premise without internet. I mean, without connectivity to the outside. We don't know what they're doing, we just charge a license. We also have the clients that have staff of hours inside the organization where we analyze the challenges, then we help them deploy our solutions as the simple one. And we tell them if you want something more advanced, we can customize it. But in our saying, I mean, we're more mature than all the company in this sense. And so we have gained the trust of huge corporations globally. So because of that, it's much easier for us to work with companies in different levels. Yeah, that's the answer. I mean, normally we work with such big companies that I haven't found. I can tell you, for example, we work with the army of one country. That's by far one of the high security levels that you use. And so that at that level, that's what really things. They look at our passports, it's so crazy. So even that level of security we already able to achieve. So maybe if you have any clients who are interested in this, and you're right, it is an issue. It is an issue because to do this, you do need to get access to a camera, for example. Many factories, you're not allowed a camera. So what do you do then? You don't work with a phone. And so we told the clients, well, then don't use XR. Use something for checklist. I don't know. Depends on how level the security is. And I don't think that this technology is used everywhere. You have to be very careful, right? Because you can waste money just saying this can solve any problem. Some problems we cannot solve at this stage. It's like robotics, right? Robotics are very good, but sometimes the robot is so expensive, it doesn't justify replacing a human. It's the same thing with technology at this stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions? So thank you so much. Yeah, end of the section.
As we end today's workshop, I would like to extend our heartfelt
Assuming you like.
thanks to David and Luke for sharing their valuable time with us. Thank you to all those who are engaged on this for your activity and thoughtful questions. Importantly, we kindly request your feedback through our post-event our English house through future workshops. So please take a few moments to take the survey. The quick preview workshop showing the highly anticipated UX and UI. If you are interested, please feel free to scan the QR code to learn more. Look forward to seeing you at future WTIA events. Thank you again for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. Yeah. You're right. They still use it. But we are helping them to utilize digital Small. I know. You're having. Anyway, so you know the beats for us. I will say online the partnership. Yeah, globally, they're facing a phone. Probably bicycles that they have. Same You can see down here, which made the virtual just making it show you the possible. They have this. The guys fixing something will change. It's over by the revolutionizes. And then yeah. So that's what using AR. We don't need cameras or sensors. When they come to something, yeah, you're in coma or something, they stop you and you don't know whether you're really second possible or not. That's another one is on the maintenance side, we are the innovative side, we go for expense. Yeah, but I can kind of help with the executive. I think it's necessary to business is still very challenges for the future. I think it's too early. My initial they will not very fast. Yeah, is okay. Like talking more. RCC usually that's the training. Yeah, home is so and AR perfect. We'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Good to meet you.
I hope it was sorry? Thank you.
Yes.
I'd like to show people the case studies, otherwise it's people need to see that it's real. You see the videos, you're like, oh, wow. Otherwise, it is too much text. I think people don't understand. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Get to you.
You let me know. I was invited to Colombia. I gave my mom's next I was raised in the UK. So anyway, I've been invited to. I like sharing with students. You ever wanted to come and guess what's happening in the world?
That's wonderful. That's okay. Nice to meet you both.
I always make people wake up. Right.
You don't need them.
Yeah, all of them are clients. Yeah, it's good. You should come to the office, you can test the Apple glasses. You should share one. Come, you can test the glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they can come. We have two Apple glasses for free. But then you play about multiple. Yeah, I have you know, time traveling a lot. So I'm moving slowly back to Hong Kong. Slowly back to Hong Kong. No, I'm in Germany. Yeah. I'm going to be spending more time because we are getting a big market in the US, slowly dying. But Japan is growing very well. So I'm going to be spending more time. But I don't like to do Japan thing. Everything, just weeks.
Sorry, I catch it.
Perfect.
You know,
I'm leaving. I'll be back in 2 weeks for a week. And then I'll be back. Anyway, I'm hosting here for a fact. I'll chat next time.
Thank you.
Just then we have 30 people. It takes a long time trying the organizers, but we can organize it. You let me know in advance. You can have it. Okay.
We'll learn more about.
We should. Can we do it in different groups?
Different groups, yes. Around one.
Anyway, let me check with the office and see how we can do it. We can do a happy hour. We do free beer, wine, and then VR, so everything before magical. No, but you know, like some of the projects are crazy. With so our biggest client in the luxury world is the Richmond. The Richmond Group is the owner of cars here, Banky, IWC, Panerai. All these clients are ours. We just made a watch with 10 million watch. It's so beautiful. These are people will be impressed. It's amazing. Nobody a watch can ever see. Here you can see it. And it's just it's very complex watch. It takes one watchmaker 1.5 years to make it. It's very like it's an engineering part. Make sure you add me on LinkedIn.
Right, okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
而家就做一個3個。好啊，一齊俾你啊！唔係啊，要我都會嚟嘅，因為有同埋嗰度有一間公司，我都知道。
國家係香港，不過 app 真係由都係幫你喺站呢個出口方面，佢話俾你聽邊一個地鐵站出口，就已經係
其實你睇300都算。
真係㗎。
OK， very good。仲係抽，因為我哋係蘇生嗰邊。哦。我係 international affair 嗰地方。我就接觸嘅就係廣泛多啲嘅。哦。咁但係我自己有啲 project。係啊，我反思係。你話所以多嘅嚇，得係呢個嘅，因為最多我上次就講過啦，我哋有多謝。另外一個仲有個 FinTech 嘅，我簽咗啲個上海山花趕過嚟嘅結果啊，咁我就係開喺度開。咁另外仲有啲嘅，我哋仲有啲好大嘅東西。有 BioMac 嘅有啦，有個 BioMac 嘅嗰個公司好大下嘅仔，R&D 喺深，咁就而家有一套，其實好多樣啦，有啲儀器啦，但係咧而家個新，跟住監測住啲大部分。哦。有啲免費送晒俾全部內監測所有啲。然之後咧，機會喺香港都做。For my purpose。佢有好多 commercial value 嗰啲。 係咁當然啦，機械係可以研發到啦。都話啲大老婆唔單止嗰啲 healthcare 啊，嗰啲佢要化妝，第日生咗之後點樣收到？所有都係，所以啊，咁佢冇啦嘅，即係通過咗呢個 system 認知咗之後，點操作啲客戶都可以，佢喺度做得好。北京奧運會嗰個出聲都係佢揸，所以做得幾好嘅事。香港啲 trade out 同佢。打到啲嘢，除咗頭先嗰套嘢幾有趣啦，咁啊，佢仲有啲兒童好得意嘅，好鬼正，好似有一個嗰啲，咁啊通常係驗到係有冇啫嘛，係佢嗰個驗到有。好似睇好有用啊！係啊，咁你知即係等啲女仔知道咧，佢應該個 stage。即係好多人真係有咗大之後，係啊，肯定要揾醫生啊嘛。係啊，係啊。咁我出咗一件嘢，佢唔知點解而家講確實性嘅，咁喺杜拜嘅索士，一件嘢可以驗100個 case， 簡單嘅，可以100。因為佢好多有趣嘅嘢，咁啊呢度係包咩嘅嘢咧？另外韓國叉巴遊戲，喺美國喺韓國、澳洲、美國都有3幾個，真係好大個。喺韓國冇人識叉巴，你上去睇咩先？多嘢㗎真。姓差嘅本來3代前，每一代都係醫生。跟住佢哋就係啊，佢係發言嗰陣時開始做呢個工。差巴人係一個哇，嗰個人佢有時哦，CHA 佢係韓國。佢係個公司就係嗰個名，即係咩陳氏企業嗰啲。喺韓國冇人識差巴。想睇咩先嚟啊？好犀利！呢個係 bio 啲咧，但係 bio 係好鬼傷腦筋嘅嘢嚟。打拉實時嗰啲時間識搞好啊！遲啲我哋都會香港呢個係後尾我，但係佢而家行到都好忙啊！佢都嚟過幾次啦。我自己又好晒呢啲嘢㗎啦。咁就就好多嘢嘅，呢個其實我都有啲嘢嘅，不過咧，因為呢個期我幾繼續好耐，我兩個細佬都係喺公司嘅，engineer，啦，即係我順便嗰個係香港三師傅，我前輩長。我而家細佬係攞 scholarship， 嗰個係呢個文化要1年攞個 scholarship。咁佢話出啲做嘅 engineer， 跟住佢負責工程師啊，咁就就可以拿錢啦，你捱間公司。所以喺呢個年，我間年係嗰個補習，就佢兩個都係選特首。哦，咁你佢嗰小姑娘你選特首啊嘛，香港兩個都係選委，咁就所以喺 Real 嗰度我以前真係做過10幾年嘅註冊實驗商，所以幾做 Real， 但係我哋而家翻 AI 打麻翻，咁所以頭先我直諗緊佢嗰啲嘢係點樣應用到落啲啊？但係咧，因為佢嗰啲嘢好多嘢。 呢個 hardware 係最擔嘅，即係而且你又要普及。
攞住個手機咁。
除非你要，係頭先嗰樣嘢好啱啱佢啲啲人，應該利用到咁就得咧，同埋遲啲可能歪有。
係啊，我舊年都。
不過仲有一件嘢又，好似佢講啦，電池嘅問題啊，同埋啲大樓啲嘢又熱啊，又長。係講法呢樣。你成日諗住一個咁嘅香港人先至做到嘅嘢，除非嗰啲大公司咁要玩 training 啊、玩下 game 啊嗰啲咁又收啊嗰啲 OK 啊，但係即係跳唔出呢啲嘢，即係點解佢哋都係單調？呢個係可以，除非有好大嘅 breakthrough。仲有一啲係 super tech 嘅嘢，我前幾日先至喺青啦，同做咗一日，咁咧佢芬蘭有個方頭嘅歌，
點樣方法？
咩啊？方頭量子啊！係啊，佢喺澳洲嘅關係。哇！呢啲係 super， 呢個標準拍最面啊嘛。如果呢個標準係成功得到嗰個細型嗰啲，因為台灣已經差唔多食咗晒嘅情況好啲。一間廠1萬人咧，幾個船擺，可以俾晒時間食飯嘅廠嚟。如果係再細啲咧，可以係可能咁大個嘅啦嚇，擺到喺上揸邊，擺到啲嘢喺度車中心差。
但係
你用標最緊，冇啊，唔輻射，呢個標準。呢啲我又唔覺得係太難，因為咧，而家你黑板嗰啲就係分裂㗎嘛，咁就好多輻射啦，好多問題嘅。但係 fusion 係冇輻射，聚變同埋佢分裂係啱啱。你冇小太陽啊？而家係可以低溫啲，就要幾萬啊！而家係幾千嘅小太陽。呢啲核聚變係做到嘅，架車一嘢擺落去。但係呢啲標準，咁台灣好勁，有幾年有趣，同埋有一樣嘢係而家申請緊專業，將啲銅咧變咗銅，即係方嘅。做咩咧？第日咧，你個車個方法咧，佢貼嗰陣時咧，你冇咩俾佢啦，因為佢本身係金屬，但係你做得會好薄咁啦，即係佢嗰個2000年就好正，即係唔係佢而家啲冚埋，而家嗰啲係譬如佢撐住嗰個方法啦，咁佢係自己變咗幾個撐嘅啫嘛。但係咧，佢成個可以又係金屬，係佢嗰個老師嚟嗰個係非常之力，搞專業。咁啊，呢啲，我唔識呢啲聽佢哋嘅嘢啊。
10年之後嘅世界應該幾好㗎？
呢啲 super tech 嘅嘢我知。有一個人係好叻。佢其實幾叻㗎，佢搞呢啲搞蘇南嗰幫個花買頭啊，賺。而家 搞下新嘅咧，做啲嘅。加熟係咩咧？都話一個客包晒佢，打時機嗰隻船，打時機船嗰啲咪以後嗰啲貨船嗰啲船會升級。加上係咪就係係啊，燒油啊！燒油而家你 1月1號開始全球要徵標，你每一噸花喺歐洲成9點都未到。咁你貴價其實，譬如啲 Tesla， 係如果有優勢咯，佢可以有所謂嘅花，可以賣俾嗰啲污染車啊嘛。 可以攞啲污染嘅就要賣佢嗰啲啦。係咁啊，但係佢就變咗整體嚟講，佢多㗎。你知唔知佢盤賬啊？如果佢賣車賺1000X， 佢賣 carbon credit 賺1000Y。 聽到我而家唔熟悉呢樣嘢真係有花頭嘅事。係話講你唔信係咪？我知做係咪佢同嗰陣時國際化嘅沙係國際全世界都有 exchange， 香港都有交換先。係就係交易所喎，幾單先公司啊，香港交易所。 佢開 X 開大個 X 啊！諗下嗰個中觀嗰邊大，所以嗰啲貨船嗰啲會都要燒價船嗰啲啊！哇，咪邊度你攞啊？幾號車都係逼下佢哋。係啊，呢度係買㗎嘛，佢主要佢買啊，呢樣咪唔俾你搭碼頭啊嘛，即係船行批人嗰啲所有行業。 但係佢哋之前係加人嘅資源。咁呢度有啲好有趣嘅 super tech 嘅嘢咯，咁但係AI 嘅嘢可以出事。但係喺 marketing 嗰度咧，我而家就係比較重心啲去講啲啦，因為我其他幾件嘢咧，個 marketing 都要幫嘅叫嘛，所以係即係係用 online。 嗰啲講話拍嗰啲監視性都係因為你可以嗰樣嘢有啲學生嘅，我多數會咁頭先我講即係生，我話咦，譬如咁啦，幾廿萬嘛，拍2個鐘，個 series 啊。 幾廿萬拍2個鐘頭啫嘛，好啦，你嗰個霸總咧，佢就係做新能源公司，咁你間新能源公司，你可以就會喐下就可以幾億人知道呢間公司，因為呢啲劇咧，佢哋抖音嗰啲啊，係啦，2個鐘頭啲劇啊，而家嗰啲2分鐘嘅集。 啲好長嘅，係好長嘅。點解係劇情嚟？係啦，即係我哋好啲啊！咁啊，我同埋啲 CPU 有個好大嘅雙面燈打緊，有個啲電腦翻嚟嘅啲人咧，就係製造成本咯。因為嗰啲抖音啲劇，咁即係掃地嗰個位置都係最高。 係啊！廣大群眾又 like 啊，哇！係啊！喺講緊話過10億 viewer 嘅一大列啊，每一個劇可以過10億人睇。我都話裏邊個霸總係做佢間公司嗰啲新能源，你講多啲嗰啲嘢咁就 嘛，你又擺啲心機來搞好佢，咁有啲叻人搞得啦，而且 AI 又可以幫手。越地好嗰啲越搞，越食越多流量。咁佢關注，佢好少嘅錢又可以，即係佢又賺翻錢，因為你又仲有其他人，你擺上 YouTube 啊、YouTube 啊、都 check 到，呢個人搞嘅真係佢都會自由講到啦，呢都你都可以自由其他講到啦。而家學校最叻就係learn from them 咯，咁你 online 嗰啲資源你好方便嘅時候㗎嘛，你電視咁你就學啦，好多嘢啊，好多嘢嗰度，而且又好容易買到啊嘛，用 AI 只不過10蚊，做埋音都得啦 AI， 跟住個手頭啦啊幾鬼容易，你幾廿萬成本就可以做到資源上兩個天台啦，個部長就睇兩個鐘，哇幾億人睇你。呢個係其中一個好就好似咧，亦都帶咗出啲情標咧，或者揾真人拍。真人拍咧，咁你嗰啲又包你真，嗰啲又比較波成低。呢個好多畫喎先會拍。所以其實後邊有好多 AI assist 嘅。呢兩年一翻啦，但係其實我係好想係三代數第一代就 Facebook 啦、百度啦，第二代就係講抖音啊，呢個 TikTok， 講呢個小紅書啦，都而家係第三代。你覺得第三代係點啊？你要分消化晒嘅，消化睇，點解再講到第三代嘅咧？我覺得係應該係，因為第一代係20，
應該停咗啦，我 check 咗下啊，停咗。
係第一代係20年前，第二代10，啱啦。咁啊，所以咧而家應該係每10